forbidden nothing. That's what it is, a forbidden nothing. What's your thoughts on Forbidden Door?
It was just okay. Like it, for the most part, I felt like I was watching an episode of Dynamite or whatever. Not a good spots, but it just felt like a episode of Dynamite.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say it was a lot of good spots. It was mid. Like it was super mid.
Okay.
And I wasn't wild, like my socks wasn't wild off my feet, like, yeah. It was like, oh, this is mid. This is
Yeah,
mid. Like that's how I felt about this, was like, this is mid. I don't know, man. It's just
I didn't like it. Like mid. Yeah, like
yeah, I didn't like it. I was just like, But let's go straight through the card. It
okay.
started off with a weird match. Like they just threw this match together randomly. Like they didn't even throw it together on Collision. It was the Paragon, like El Desperado, Yuya Uemura versus the Crew and the Don Callis family.
Weird. Like even watching Collision, like 'cause I came in late. I asked you, like, did they announce any new matches? Because they tend to do that on Collision, and they didn't
The
do
one,
that.
no, they did. They announced two matches. They announced two matches on this pre-show,
No, but
and
they
then
didn't announce this match, like you said.
yeah, they didn't announce this one because it was four matches on the pre-show. This one was not nowhere to be announced. They
Yeah.
just threw it out there. And I was like, what the fuck? Like this is so it was so random. And something that made me mad was like, and this had nothing to do with nothing. It was Yuya Uemura. Like he came out and he had like this super pop and he was so over. And Excalibur goes, yeah, this is the guy being groomed to be the next Tanahashi. And I was like, okay, like people are saying that, but it's not the people in New Japan that are saying that. It's like people like that are not like super locked in. They're just saying, "Oh, they're grooming this guy to be the next one." It's like, no, that's not what's happening.
Like a casual like me, right?
Yeah, it is like that's not what's happening. Like he's not being the next one. They're still trying to lock down a guy. Like Shota should have been the guy, but he's gonna have to do a fucking Naito run and just like leave the company and come back because like he was supposed to be the guy, but they dropped the ball on him. And Yuya Uemura, like, it's like a casual thing that's going like, yeah, he's the next guy, he's the next guy up. And the ones who's locked in is like, no, it's Yota Tsuji. Like Suji is the guy. Like he's the one that they need to strap the rocket to, and he's the one that can take New Japan into the future. Like Yuya is good, but him and Suji should be feuding, and they should be the two big key players for the rest of the like forever. But Suji is the guy that people are gonna look at and be like, "That's New Japan."
I'm
Like,
glad you said that 'cause I actually was gonna ask you who do you think the next guy is, but
yeah,
yeah,
it's Suji. Everybody that watches this sees everything in Suji. He's big. He has the look. He has the fucking brightest smile. Like I'll lie to you not, he has one of the brightest smiles, and he just has this look that's like that's the guy.
okay.
Like that's the guy. Like so when he lost to fucking what is his name Takesta, and he like they had to fake an injury. They said he got concussed and then he was back like the next night. So we all was like, no, it's a fake injury. The fact that like everybody got so sad, not only because Takesha's an outsider, but the fact that Yota Tsuji wasn't in it, like that tells you like who he is. He's the guy. We
Yeah,
all know it, but I know I went off on a tangent, but
you're fine to
you,
me.
yeah, I know. Yuya Uemura and his team won, and it was like those were like the only New Japan guys in this thing, and I was like, what the fuck? Like that was weird. So then we had the Gates of Agony and Ricochet versus Speed Jet and Michael Oku. And that just prompted everybody, like, I know they was in London, but it prompted everybody to say the same thing. Was like, okay, we've seen Michael Oku in AEW multiple times. When is he signing?
Sky Blue. That's all I say. Sky
Yeah,
Blue.
that's how it feels. It's like it's a Sky Blue situation because it's like, why the fuck is he not signed? And Ricochet and his team, they won. The funny part is, I see a lot of people on the internet go, "Oh my god, this Ricochet thing is working. This Ricochet thing is working because he has a crew and like he's getting over and he's cool." And I'm just looking at it like that is like literally the part where I'm ready to skip and just turn it. Like if I could fast forward, that's the part where it's at, like right there, the Ricochet part. Like to
Yeah.
me, it's just like this is the part where I'm fast forwarding. Like there's nothing that's alluring me about this. But I saw some people just like start to change up and go, yeah, you know what? That Ricochet thing is kind of working. It's like working for who? Not me.
Not working for Ricochet. It's not working for the fans. It's not working for the Gates of Agony now. I think they're like lower now because of this shit. Like it's fucking up for everybody. Like I feel the same way. Like I've never liked Ricochet, but
Mm-hmm.
at least when he was in WWE, he had an aura to him. He had some type of good matches. Mind you, no, I'm not being a WWE drone or whatever. I didn't like him there either personally, but he had a better aura.
I'm gonna tell you where he had the best aura, and it was before he came into WWE. Like before he came into WWE, he was the guy. He came
Hmm.
into WWE and was in NXT for a little while, and it was like he was still the guy. And then when he got with Vince, it was just like all washed away.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, most definitely.
like then it was like no recovering. Then he went over here, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's gonna definitely do something." And it took him a long time, and now he's in doing this, and it's like you have Jericho to me, where I'm just like, I don't want to see
Yeah.
whatever.
Now we
So
could call it probably the Ricochet Vortex, I guess.
I mean, for now, yeah. So Ricochet just like his team wins. So then we had the women's 8 woman match, and this was weird, and it wasn't weird because of the match. It was weird because of how everything played out later on in the show. And I was like, the fuck? Because it was the Triangle of Madness and Megan Bain versus Harley Cameron, Chris Statlander, Queen Aminata, and Willow. And the Trio of Madness, they get their win, but they're fighting after the match. Everybody's still fighting after the match. And then, like, they break them up. Like, this is exactly what you see. They fight, they break them up, and then everybody goes to the back. And you're just like, oh, okay, it's over. But later on, there's a spot where it's like two people are fighting and it leads to something. And it's like, oh, okay, but you guys wasn't still fighting.
Yeah, like that was a weird, like I almost said edit, but this is live. Like it looked like an edit to me.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. So then we had the Ops versus the Bullet Club War Dogs. And apparently somebody said it was for the trios title, and I
It
didn't
was.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very
I
weird.
want to say that was implemented last minute because I don't recall them ever saying that.
Me neither. That's what fucked me up. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And of course, the Ops beat the War Dogs because the War Dogs are not going to take the titles. And it was Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney and Robbie X. Now, the only thing that had me excited about this match was the fact that we got Clark Connors messing with Shibata, who was his teacher. Like that's a little bit of lore that not a lot of people know because Clark Connor was part of the LA Dojo guys, and
Okay.
that was something that like because they never got to face him because he was injured and New Japan wouldn't clear him. So now this is the first time they actually get to show what they've learned, how they've progressed against him. Because it was like I want to say it was five of them because it's Gabe Kidd, Clark Connors, um, Alex Coughlin, fucking Eddie Thorpe, Carl Fredericks, that's his name, and it was one more who I cannot remember who the other fifth person was. But they all wound up becoming War Dogs, except for Eddie Thorpe, who wound up becoming Eddie Thorpe in NXT because he never thought that New Japan would use him. Like I talked about this before.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Ops got the win, and that was a thing. Then we had Adam and Christian versus Kill Switch and Kip Sabian. This
I
was
like
the
how you
beginning
called
of
him
the pay per
Adam.
view, by the way. So, how did you feel about this match?
I hate nostalgia. Like this felt like fucking like the Goldberg match that the B just did. Like I didn't care. I didn't care. Like I was checked out.
Like I was too, but like Edge and Christian had to win because they have to face FTR, which we get to later on. But it was like I didn't really care, and I saw so many people go, "Oh, they really did something." I was like, they didn't do anything. Like nothing was memorable, nothing stood out. I didn't care.
I was gonna lie to you and tell you the only thing I liked, word it differently. The only thing I appreciated
Hmm.
was the fucking finish, because like that was kind of cool how they did a tag team finisher. I don't recall them ever having a tag team finisher. Like they both had their own separate moves, if I'm not mistaken.
So to me, it wasn't so much of a tag team finisher, but as it was, we hit our moves closely at the same time to resemble a finisher. That's
Okay,
that's how I took it.
got you.
So then we had Kyle Fletcher versus Hiromu for the TNT title. There was no way Hiromu was winning. There was no way he was winning.
I don't know why. I kind of thought maybe.
No, there was no way. It was just like, yeah, there's no way. So then we had Mercedes versus Alex Winter, Bozilla, and Persephone for
Per
the TBS title.
Persephone, that's how you pronounce it. I don't know why. I forgot how you pronounced it.
Yeah, no, that's Persephone. And Mercedes won. Like Mercedes won. Like I said, for anybody that was like, "Oh my God, I don't think Mercedes is gonna win," it's like, dude, Mercedes was gonna win. Like that was a no brainer.
Yeah.
So then right after the match, we had Queen Aminata just like fighting with Thekla. They're going at it. They're going. And then all of a sudden they wind up out in the crowd. And you're like, okay, they're out in the crowd. I mean, not out in the crowd, but out in front of the crowd. And then the trio of madness shows up and starts beating up Queen Aminata. So I'm like, okay, who's gonna come out and help? Who's gonna help? Who's gonna help? And it was Jamie Hayter.
I was kind of happy about that.
Oh, I was too. I was super happy because Jamie came out in front of her home crowd and she beat the shit out of Thekla because Thekla was the one who took her out and she ran her off. So I'm like, okay, that was cool.
Yeah.
So that was that. Then we had what I call my main event of the show. This was my main event of the show. And after this match, I didn't really give a shit whatever happened because this was my main event.
Okay.
Because it was Zack Sabre versus Nigel McGuinness. And it was for the IWGP Championship, but it was a great match. It was a great match.
I agree with you. The funny part about this match, right,
Mm-hmm.
is this style does not interest me whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But for some odd reason, they meshed like and did magic and whatever. Because I'm more of the luchador type
Mm-hmm.
and whatever. I love this match. I agree with you. I probably like won't call it my main event, but it's high up there.
Yeah, like this was it for me. And then after the match, Daniel Garcia takes off his shirt. He gets in the ring, but Tony Schiavone is about to make an announcement. And I'm like, okay, what's about to happen? Like, what's about to happen? Tony Schiavone makes an announcement about the attendance. And I'm like, okay. And then he says something else, and Daniel Garcia just slinks out the ring. And then they just cut. I'm like, Was he supposed to attack him? Like, what was supposed to happen? Like, what just? It just threw me off because it's like he took off his shirt. I'm like, okay, he's about to do something, and Tony Schiavone just says, "Hey, this thing happened," and I was like, "What?" Like, and he just dipped, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Right before Tony made that announcement, it was this one thing that Nigel was like raising his arms and whatever, and Daniel kind of like flipped him around and whatever, and
Mhm.
it looked like he was about to punch him, but he just hugged them and rose his hand and whatever. Like, what the fuck?
That's what I mean. Like, it felt like it was a setup to do something because at first Tony Schiavone was about to interview Nigel. Then he said he was making an announcement to say the attendance, and then Daniel Garcia just dipped out of the ring. And I'm like, was he supposed to attack him? Like, it was so odd because it felt like something was about to happen, and then it just like nothing happened. I was like, what?
And correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
I swear they did the announcement of the attendance twice. Because wasn't the Hart family there earlier and
Yes, they did
whatever?
it. They did that in the very beginning of the show.
Yeah, so what was the point of Shivani doing it too? Like,
I guess because they wanted to do it during the show, because like that was the pre-show. They wanted to do it at the show to make it like a bigger thing.
I, I guess. Like, I don't care.
But that was just weird to me.
It was, yeah.
So then we had the triple threat for the tag team titles. We had the Hurt Locker Business versus Brodito versus FTR. And this match was going, and like I swear to God, it was supposed to be an elimination match. And I swear they announced it at first and then just like never brought it up. So I'm like, okay, they're gonna do an elimination match. Everybody thought it was too. So the match is going. The match is going, and all of a sudden, the Gates of Agony in New Japan sweats come out and just start beating the shit out of the Hurt Syndicate. And everybody was like, what the fuck? Like, we was trying to figure out who it was from New Japan, and then they pulled up the match and was like, oh, it's the Gates of Agony. And Tony Schiavone tries to play it up and goes, I wonder why they're there. Fucking Excalibur cuts him off and goes, well, Tony, don't you remember they helped out MJF on Tuesday? Like, maybe that's why they're there. Maybe MJF sent them out here. And I'm like, oh, like you didn't like we thought that. Me and you thought that. Some other people thought that. He went straight through it, and it was like there was no guesswork because he just threw it out there, and it was like, well,
That was
shit,
shade
like
like a motherfucker. He fucked Tony over.
yeah, because Tony was like, "Why the hell?" And he just gave the whole thing. He was like, "Yeah, it was working together." But he was like, "Maybe MJF paid him off." I'm like, "Dog, like if this was supposed to be a mystery, you just killed it dead by saying exactly what happened." Okay.
Also,
Mm-hmm.
remember they kind of beat up Ricochet too, so it's kind of beef there too. So even if he didn't pay him, he probably would have done it anyway. So it's all that combined.
It was crazy, and then it just left FTR and Brodito in there, and the match is going, and I'm like, FTR is about to win, and then just like at one split second, I was like, oh shit, Brodito won, and Brodito fucking won the titles.
Like I literally said, how?
I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know.
I should have saw it coming though, because I even like mentioned it to you, like when they were coming out. They had like a tag team interest and everything. Like, oh, okay, they're officially Brodito now. I should have known just from that.
No, but like that shouldn't have been the giveaway. It just was like it still was random. Like it should have been FTR, but I think it was Tony like going, "Hey, everybody knows it's gonna be FTR. Why don't I swerve them in this? FTR gets the titles later, which leads to the whole Edge and Christian versus FTR for the tag titles."
I can see that.
But it just was really crazy to me.
Yeah.
Then we had Okada versus Swerve. And because I knew Swerve was hurt, I'm like, okay, Swerve's definitely not winning. I just want to know how they're going to kill him. And it was like the ending came and it was like it felt so flat, but at the same time to me it's like, you know what? That is like something that would happen in a regular old Okada match because like they're wrestling, he reverses it, hits the fucking Rainmaker 1, 2, 3, and I'm
Yeah,
like, and you can hear the crowd go, huh? Like a lot of them was like kind of shook, was like, what the fuck? And I was just like, this feels like the old Okada, but at the same time, this didn't do it for me. It was like that just it just didn't do it for me. I was like, all right, well, all right, sure, okay.
it was weird.
Yeah, and then after the match, Okada beats the shit out of Swerve. And all of a sudden, like Nana comes out with a chair. I'm like, Nana's gonna turn on him. Nana's gonna turn on him. Nana runs like he runs off all of the Don Callis family, and he's just standing there. And all of a sudden, Wardlow shows up. And this was like the most weirdest Wardlow show up. And it wasn't weird because it was weird how it was shot. Wardlow got in the ring. They showed Wardlow. They cut the camera to make it look like he wasn't there. He starts beating up Swerve. They cut back. But before they can say who, like, could be like, who is it? Everybody in commentary, like when they first flashed on the screen, it was like, hey, that's Wardlow. What is he doing here? I'm like, everything about this was just dumb. I was like, okay,
Like you ruined it.
yeah. And then Wardlow just beats the shit out of Swerve and joins the Don Callis family. And Takeshita walks up to him and he looks at him and just stares at him. And he stares back. And I'm like, okay, now what?
Takeshita doesn't like anybody.
He never likes anybody, but it's like, now what? Like, to me, it's just like, okay, now what? Then we had the women's title match. And it was Tony versus Athena. Athena was cashing in her Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal. And everybody's like, she's going to win. She's going to win. She's going to win. Athena lost.
Which is really fucking weird.
I feel like it was the wrong thing to do. I feel like it was the wrong thing to do.
Yes.
And now it's like, now what do you do with Tony? Like, where do you go? I
Like
don't know, man. I don't
I'm
know.
just about to say that. I don't know. Like it's fucking weird.
She's beating everybody. They keep teasing the her and Mercedes thing, which is like, it could be a thing. And at the press conference, Mercedes said they could fight again and they could be the main event, which is true. But at the same time, it's like, so what was the point in having a match the first time and you didn't change the title? Now you're gonna have it a second time and go, hey, all right, we might change the title here. And it's just like you should have just changed the title the first time. And that could have main evented. I'm sorry, like it could have main evented over anything. But like they didn't even, like it's just I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I really don't know what's going on with this. It just like leaves more questions to me and it makes me go, all right.
Like I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority, but like I don't care for a second match.
So okay, the reason I say I care for a second match is because after Mercedes lost, they keep going with this thing of she's gun shy of Tony. Like when they were in a tag match, she just like she's scared of Tony. Like it's something about Tony that like scares her because she can't beat her and she can't take her title, which is fucking her up and like is getting with her mentally. So to rectify that, she has to beat her for the title. That's the only reason it's a little bit intriguing because it's like they now have opened the door to like a little bit of a storyline of this Mercedes crisis of conscience. I can't do it, but I'm too afraid to try because I know I can't do it. And now it's a story.
Okay.
Like that's the only reason I'm like kind of invested. It's like, okay. But like I said, it would have been better if they would have flipped it and Mercedes won. Now Tony is the one having a crisis of conscience and she has to build herself back up. And then we get to the second match. This one just feels like it's a little hint of a story, but it's like not too, yeah. It's like, yeah, it's there.
Got you.
So then we get to the world title match. And the world title match is Hangman versus MJF. And if Hangman gets disqualified or counted out, he loses the title.
Dun dun dun.
And they have the match. And MJF's trying everything to get Hangman counted out, trying everything to get him disqualified. It's not happening. It's not working. And at the end, he brings in the contract. He hits Hangman. Hangman kicks out. And then he's like, what do I do? What do I do? And now he's falling apart. And as he's fucking falling apart, the referee is trying to do something. Hangman grabs the fucking contract, bam, hits MJF, hits his finisher, 1, 2, 3, keeps the title.
What the fuck? That's all I can say
Like,
about that.
yeah. So Hangman beats him, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna cash in. Like MJF's gonna cash in. MJF just doesn't do anything. It's over. And then on the press conference, Tony Khan goes, as far as the cash in goes, it has to be a week in advance. It's not a right then and there. It has to be a week in advance. You have to sign the contract, and then the next week you get a title shot.
That is
And
the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
no, but he justified it. And his justification was just like the most inside baseball thing that you could say. Because he goes, well, okay, the reason is because like we have media like and we have like partners and sponsors, so that's why I wanted a week in advance so we can hype it up and like the sponsors can come in and like the media can cover it and stuff like that. And it's like, Doug, like what that's saying to me is when we do it, it's only going to be for clicks. It's only going to be for you to come in and watch, to grab your attention. And I know somebody's like, well, isn't that what you want? That is what you want, but you can do it with a random title change. Because if you do a random title change, somebody just runs in, cashes in, and they win the championship, people are going to be like, whoa, what the fuck? When did that happen? They'd be like, oh, that happened on Dynamite. Oh, I need to go watch that episode of Dynamite. Now they're going to run back on HBO Max to watch that Dynamite.
Yeah.
Like this one just felt like it just feels like, hey man, like this is how I'm doing it. I'm like, all right, man. It just kind of sucks. It just makes it not fun for me anymore.
I love like random cash-ins and whatever. So it's like what the fuck?
Yeah, because like, and the thing is like you get a double view out of that because you get the, oh, it happened. I didn't see it. Now I want to see it. And then you get the, what's the follow-up view? This one is like, you're going to get the match. And it's like, okay, we get the match. The person's not hurt. There's no stakes. Like, there's a huge chance that the person that he's cashing in on could win. So, where's the intrigue in that?
There is none.
Exactly. That's what I'm like, all right, man. Like I just kind of just gave up on that. But that's what happened there. So then we get to the last match, which is the lights out cage match. And I can see a lot of people have no idea what the fuck New Japan is. I'm not even joking. And people will be like, it's not fair. It's like, no, you have no idea what New Japan is. Because I've seen so many people go, oh my God, that's such a unique cage. Oh, that's a great idea that they did it this way. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, there was a cage, there's two cage matches now, back to back in 2 different years. And it's the dog pound cage match. That's where Will Ospreay got injured and taken out, and that's why he's in AEW by the fucking War Dogs. That was the very first one. And the cage is similar. The only difference is the New Japan cage is black. It is the
Yeah.
same exact style match. Like, it just fucking pissed me off how many people was so uneducated and act like, oh, I have no idea what's going on. It pissed me off so much. What did you think of the cage match?
Meh. Like it was nothing I never saw before and whatever. Like it was spots there that actually made fun of, like when fucking what was it, a fork or whatever they put in Darby's ear and whatever. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
the man can't hear now, right? I found it comical.
Like, it was the Young Bucks came out to Bop, which was their first theme song.
You for
Because like,
real? Oh
yeah,
shit.
like the shit is like it's comical because like it's like I'm not gonna lie, like somebody even said this and I'm like, I agree. This is the first time I've laughed, genuinely laughed at the Bucks in a while because
Yeah.
of like them not being EVPs and being broke and being like this is like the only time I'm genuinely like, oh, this is actually kind of funny. They called them Rod and Todd on Collision, and then they did the Bop music, and it was like, and then they asked for like fucking glass and staples and all of this to be put in a bag and put under the ring from somebody. They did this on a pre-show, and then when they got the bag, it was full of gummy bears, and it was like that shit is kind of funny because it's like okay this shit is like it makes sense and it's like not just like stupid shit that they do all the time. It's like okay, this is actually funny. And if you want to really break it down, and I'm not trying to be a fucking e drone, this is WWE level comedy,
Yeah.
and it's like that's the shit that they should be leaning into instead of like the other. Oh, we're gonna do meta comedy. Hey guys, this is meta, and it's like I don't want you to do meta. I don't want you to break the fourth wall. I don't like sometimes it's fun, but like when that's your whole stick, it's like that shit gets annoying and fucking irritating. So this is perfect because it's not that. And I liked it.
Yeah. Only like the meta stuff only should be for like a limited amount of time.
Yes.
Like they like we discussed it before. They should have been cut that a long time ago.
That's their whole career. It was like, hey, we're just gonna lean into the meta. And it's like I said, in the beginning it's fun, and the more you keep leaning into it, it's like all right, you can't keep beating a dead horse. Like, leave this shit alone, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's what fucking irritates me. But like now, the shit that they're doing now is just like comedy shit. It's like, all right, this is kind of fun.
I kind of like it. I agree.
Yeah, and it was like shit was happening in this motherfucker. That was just like it was just bad, and I don't mean just like it was bad, and also bad it sucked way, and also a bad in like why would you do this? Like the Darby ear thing, like a lot of the Tanahashi shit, like that man's knees are just fucking done. It's like, and this is how you know it's bad. This is how you know it's bad. They did a off the top of the cage spot, and fucking Kenny Omega grabs Tanahashi before this, and he pushes him against the wall and says, "Stay here." And Tana's like, "What?" They do this big dive, everybody falls, and Kenny has Tana up against the wall, and it's like, "Doug, you can't be doing this shit." And then he did like a
Mhm.
comeback, and you can tell how bad he is. I'm like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" I just felt so bad. I'm like, I don't want to see Tana in this way. Like I know he wrestles. Like when he wrestles in New Japan, you have guys that can hide it. This is a fucking exposure. Like everybody's watching this. He got the pin at the end, but like holy shit, dude! It just felt like I just felt so bad for him.
Like no disrespect to him, but he should not have been in this match. He's a legend and all that. He should not have been in this match.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been in this match. Like I felt like, and people was like, "Oh, he'll be hidden by this. Like it's okay. Like it's fine." It's like you've seen him and you've seen how bad it is, and it's like no, he shouldn't have been in this match.
like my
And then
example is kind of like way too extreme, but
mhm,
to me, it's kind of like putting Ric Flair now in War Games.
it's something like that.
Yeah.
And then they had Gabe Kidd come off of the top of the cage with Darby Allin. And if you watch this spot back, you would literally go, okay, first off, you fucked yourself because you was already injured. That fall was not okay. He came off the top of the cage and it was 4 tables. You see him barely miss the table, his shoulder and head smashed to the ground. And you're like, oh shit. Now, this is how you know shit was bad. Because when they let the people outside, Kenny was trying to get Darby. Gabe Kidd was still down. Moxley had already checked on Gabe Kidd 3 times. He was still down. Kenny was getting Darby back in the ring. He looks at the medical and goes, yo, is Kidd all right? They said, we're checking on him. I'm like, dog, this has been 5 minutes. He's been down for a while. He's fucking hurt. Like, and I know you're like, well, they're not going to let him be hurt. I know that, but it's like he got hurt. He got hurt. And it's just like, no, we'll get to him. We'll get to him. It's fine.
That should have been like rushed. Like, what the fuck?
No, it's not like it's not even Russ. Like I'm okay with him laying there and like I'm okay with him laying there and they
Okay.
finish his spot. That's fine. But when medical is literally still there the whole time checking on him, like if this was any other spot, it's like the person goes down, medical checks on him, medical walks away, and then like they finish the spot, person is still laying there because like it's just a visual gag of like, hey, the person is visually there, haha, he's still hurt. But this is like they're literally there. Doc Samson, everybody's like, "Yo, you cool? You cool, dog? Like, you all right?" That's exactly how they kept doing. And it's like, all right, like, come on. And then Moxley sneaks back in the cage with the rest of the Death Riders, and they just beat the shit out of Will Ospreay. They like Will's there doing this celebration, like, "Yay, I did it! I'm here. This is London. This is my town." They get in there, one paradigm shift, two paradigm shift, three paradigm shift, four paradigm. And the fact that after four, Will's just dead. He's like Moxley is getting Claudio to help him hold up fucking Will Ospreay. Bam, another one, another one, another one. I was like, yo, this is like 9 of them, and they kept going. And then Moxley was like, fuck it. He was like, I'm gonna put the chair on him and crush him.
Was
Mind
DJ
you,
Khaled part of
everybody else,
this?
huh?
Was DJ Khaled part of this? Another one, and another
Yeah,
one, and another one?
yes. Mind you, the good guys are outside, and they could have just climbed the cage and gotten a ring and stopped this. They're all yelling, raise the fucking cage! Raise the fucking cage! They Pillmanized fucking Will's neck. Raise the cage! Raise the cage! They raised the cage a little bit, and all of the Death Riders was on one side. They was in one spot, and it was like, all right. As soon as they raised the cage, they were out. Everybody that got in couldn't help him. Will's dead. Like he's off for a long time, and it's like, all right, cool. But that just pissed me off though. Like they kept saying, raise the cage, raise the cage. It's like, bitch, just get in there.
I forget what it was called. Their version of War Games. If it had a fucking top on it, you know, man, you could do it. But what the fuck?
Yeah, it just like it was just so weird. And like everybody online said the same thing, was like, so why didn't you guys just climb the cage? Like that's all everybody kept thinking was like, why didn't you just climb the cage? It was
Especially Darby, fucking what's his face, Kenny, fucking Ibushi. They're fast enough that they could have got in there.
exactly. It just pissed me the fuck off. But hey, that was the end of the show. That was the end of the show.
Yeah.
So then right after that we had Heatwave. And Heatwave was a show. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was like super enjoyable, but like to me, it was just like it was there. Like the best stuff happened like towards the end. It was like, oh,
I was just about
okay,
to say that. Like I really enjoyed the main event though.
yeah. Like we had the triple threat for the winner to go on to No Mercy in September to face the world champion, the women's world champion. It was Lola Vice versus Jada Parker versus Kalani Jordan. And we both picked not Lola Vice.
Like on the podcast, we both picked Jada. But then
Yes.
off the podcast, when it was coming on, like, could Kalani win? Like we kind of was questioning it. We never said fucking Lola.
Yeah. So Lola wins. Now Lola's number one contender at No Mercy. So
I'm not mad at it, but like, what the fuck?
yeah, I'm not mad at it either. Then we had Dark State versus Hank and Tank. And I like the way that they started it out because Saquon Sugars was in there and it was him and Osiris Griffin. And you're like, okay, they're gonna be the team. They're gonna be the team.
That's what
So
I picked.
Saquon, like Saquon's getting ready. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then all of a sudden he just dips out like when Hank runs at him. He's like, why are you running? All of a sudden Dion Lennox comes in. Dion was like, I'm the guy. I was like, what? Yeah. So they had the match, and Dark State are the new tag champs.
Called it. We both did.
Yes. So then we had the triple threat for the TNA Women's Championship. And so it was Ash by Elegance with the Elegance brand, JC Jane with Fatal Influence, and Masha Slamovich all by herself. So Fatal Influence got caught. They got kicked out. JC's mad. And it winds up at the end. JC's about to get the win, and the Elegance brand pulls her out. The ref didn't see it. And Ash by Elegance beats Masha Slamovich, gets the win. And JC's like, what the fuck?
At least TNA got
So,
their belt back.
yet one belt.
Hmm.
So then that leads to the whole Fatal Influence beefing. And then in the back, Lola's like, well, you got me next. And so they're about to jump Lola, but then Soul Zarya shows up and they're like, hey man, what's up? So that sets up a fucking 6 man on the show for next week.
Yeah.
Then we had Blake Monroe versus Jordan Grace, and this is one of Blake's better matches. Blake was killing it in this match,
Hmm.
and she cheated to win. The bottom turnbuckle was ripped off. She hit Jordan with it. Boom, boom, boom. Finisher 1, 2, 3. It was over.
Funny part, I didn't put those two spots together until like way later, like
Oh
after the match.
yeah, no, that was a one thing.
Yeah.
So we had Ethan Page and Chelsea Green versus Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele. And a lot of people miss this because Tyra May Steele does this thing where she gives out gold medals and she gives it to this one girl in the front row, and the girl just loses her shit. She goes, "Oh my god, oh my god!" She starts jumping up and down, and like I'm like at that moment, I'm like, damn, she just made that girl's day. Like no matter what happens, that girl will always be a fan of Tyra May Steele.
Yes.
And the thing that pissed me off about it was she was the one who took the pin by Chelsea Green in this match. That pissed me off.
It should have been Tavion pinning fucking Ethan that way they could have that match. Or
That's
vice
ex-
versa.
that's exactly what should have happened.
Yeah.
So we had a thing backstage with Javon Evans and Ricky Starks, and Ricky kept calling him champ, and he says, "Well, when you win, it's gonna be me and you because I'm next up." And so Javon was like, "Yeah, all right." And then like Ricky leaves, and he's like, "Damn," he's like, "I could be the champ." So we had the main event. This main event was awesome,
Yes.
and the spots that lead to the end was Oba's on the top rope. Javon's about to hit him with something, and Oba just pushes him. The ref goes down. So Javon starts to make a comeback. Javon hits the super RKO thingy. He pins Oba. A second ref runs in, does the count. Opa's foot is under the rope. The original referee is up by now, and he's looking, watching the pin, and he's yelling at the other ref. He's like, his foot's on the rope. His foot's under the ropes. So Javon gets the pin, and he thinks he won. And the other ref slides in and was like, no, 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 his foot was on the rope. And the ref goes, damn, oh shit, I didn't see it. So Javon's like, wait a minute, what? He's like, yeah, the match is still going. And then Oba just fucks him up. 1, 2, 3. Oba gets the pin. Oba keeps the title. I was just pissed.
You forgot the table spot though,
Oh,
where what
that
you call it almost
yeah,
died.
yeah. It's fucking Oba threw Javon over the top rope through a table, the announce table. That shit shattered. He threw him back in the ring, pinned him 1, 2, 3. It was over, and I was mad because this was the perfect time to put Javon with the title. The perfect time.
Yeah, exactly. Like I kind of wish he kicked out of that. Like I guess we're gonna have the rematch and we get what we want.
I don't think so because after the match, Ricky comes out. So Ricky Saint standing right in front of Oba. He's the next challenger. And I'm just like, you just could have put the title on Javon. You could have put the title on Javon and turned Ricky Saint heel. Like you
Yeah.
could have did so much here. It would have been so good, but it's like, yeah, nope, we're gonna do this.
The reason I say that we could like go back to it is whatever. Like I'm not sure Ricky's gonna beat him at this point.
I'm more confident that Ricky will beat him than Javon is. Like, I'm more confident in that.
Okay.
Like, but I would have rather Javon won the title and then Ricky just goes, I'm up next, and then we have a heel turn of Ricky Saint, and that's how we go there. I would have preferred that over what we got.
I actually thought that's where we were going. The way he was talking to him, kind of like something was off with him.
Yeah, I would have rather preferred that, but it's like they did it this way, which pissed me off. It's like, God damn, dude, like you had it. It was right there.
Yep.
Like it was right fucking there. I was like, God damn. But hey, that happened, and that was it.
Yep.
So SmackDown happened. So we could review that.
Okay.
It, Becky showed up, and because they was in Ireland or wherever Becky's from, they were
Yeah.
cheering her, and she had the crowd in her hand, and then she just like turned total heel, and then for some reason they just start chanting, "We want Lyra," which was fucking awesome because it's like, okay, now Lyra is over because that's also where she's from, but they're cheering her against Becky, and Becky's like, "I'm done with her." And then Tiffy comes out, then Nia Jax comes out, then I mean not Jada, Jade comes out, and it sets up a tag team main event later on, which is actually cool because they get to see Becky. Like they get to see Becky, and that's a big thing.
Yeah. Kind of wish it was Lyra too. That way like, they both get their hometown shine. But it was a good match when they did it later in the show.
But them cheering for her just out of nowhere made it worth it. Like
Yeah.
with her not even showing up, that made it worth it.
Yeah.
Like that made like she's at home and she's getting this cheer, this pop, like this huge pop. We want Lyra. It's like, yeah, they made a star.
Yeah.
So then we get Fraxium talking to Mello. They're talking to Mello, and they're trying to say, Mello, Miz is using him. And he's like, yeah, he was like, he kind of agrees with it at first, and then he just like kind of shuts it down because Miz shows up, and then he takes it like a little slight shot at Miz. Miz is like, no, we're cool because we're awesome. And in the background, a lot of people didn't see this, but in the background was the Wyatts. The Wyatts are in the background, and they're looking like, ah, we're gonna get you guys. Yeah.
Yep.
And okay, so I know a lot of people immediately jump to the same thing we always jump to when they're across the seas. When the black person is in there, everybody just boos and are not good with this. The only reason I'll give this a pass, the only reason I'll give this a pass is because they're more of fans of Miz because Miz has been there forever. Melo is just new. So that's why.
Yeah.
That's the only reason because they kept cheering Miz. Miz steals the pin, and they beat the Motor City Machine Guns. So they go into next week, which is a number one contenders match for the championships. And I have a weird feeling that's where Melo's going to cross them over.
Basically.
Then we had a backstage with Jimmy, and Kathy Kelly was congratulating him on being like a new dad. And then Sammy walks up, and Sammy's like, "Yo, you got another uncle." And then Solo walks up. Like, Solo is so fucking good. Like, I
He
swear
deserves
to
more
God, like
credit.
he doesn't get the credit he deserves, but he is so fucking good. And he's like, "No, you can name the baby Solo." And he just was so good. And Sammy basically said, "Yo, it's gonna be me and you for the US title. And I'm gonna beat you for the title." And he was like, "Oh, Sammy, stop with this underdog bullshit." And Sammy was like, "Nah." He's like, "I'm not the underdog." He's like, "I'm a WrestleMania main eventer. I'm the guy." And Jimmy was like, "Yup."
They were the ones
So,
in the main event.
uh-huh. So I'm just like, okay, well, this is where they're going, but like, we still had to put the world title on them.
Yep.
We had Slagent P versus Charlotte, and Slagent P beat Charlotte, which sets up a tag team title match for the Secret Harvest next week.
That's gonna be good.
hmm So we get Kiana James with Julia, and Mia Yim was like, "Yo, what's up? Like, I want a title match." And like Kiana's like, "No, no, no. Here's the thing. You have to go through me to get through her." And she's like, "Okay." So that sets up next week, probably Kiana James versus Mia Yim.
Yeah.
Now, here's the funny part, which I always talk about, like how this person is outside. Charlotte has found a new friend. Charlotte has found a new friend. And her new
Okay.
friend is Kiana James. Like they're on the overseas tour and she gravitated to Kiana James. She's like, "Nope, you're mine." And she has been hanging out with her the whole time overseas, like making her comfortable. It's
She
always
loves
Charlotte being
rookies.
like she's always the nicest person. Like, no, I'm gonna make sure you guys feel seen and make sure you guys feel heard and make sure that you know that this is a family thing. And it's like she's always so good about that. That's why everybody loves her.
Yep. Well, the ones that know her, because she has her haters too for
Yeah,
some reason.
right. Then we had Logan Paul and John Cena back and forth on the mic. Logan Paul kept talking about how great he is. And then John Cena says, "We hate you because you're such an asshole, but you're really good in the ring." Like, even John Cena said, he was like, "Yo, you're going to be a world champion, but you're just such a dickbag."
Okay.
And John lays him out with the attitude adjustment. Boom, it's over. We get a little backstage with Jade and Tiffany, and Jade told her, was like, "Yo, after we're done this tag match, I'm coming after that title. I want that title. I'm gonna beat you. I had you beat. I'm gonna beat you." Which she didn't have her beat. This is just in her mind. She thinks that she had her beat, but they're gonna run it back.
Yep.
Then we had the MFTs versus the Street Profits. And I don't know what the fuck is wrong with the fucking crowd in Dublin. Just chanting, "You can't wrestle to JC Mateo," which is Jeff Cobb, which is untrue. Which I saw like all of the New Japan fans lost their fucking minds. They lost their fucking minds because it's like, we know that's not true. Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? It was
Like if you
so
know the man and follow him, like not even New Japan, like other places he's been, Wasn't he also in fucking Lucha Underground? Like he was good
Yes,
there.
yes, he was good everywhere he went. He was good
Yeah.
in PWG.
Hmm.
Like that's why everybody was pissed, and it was just like these fans like they hate him, and they was just so pissed off. And I get it.
He had some matches in AEW. I want to say he had matches in TNA also.
He had matches everywhere, and he's a good fucking wrestler. And
Yeah.
I just hate that everybody just did that to him. Like that pissed me off. Then we had Malachi Black, and he's about to wrestle Truth. And I swore Truth was gonna do something different than what he did,
Me too.
but like yeah, he was like, I went to the wrong Dublin, so I called up a friend, and he's gonna do that. In my mind, I'm like, okay, Truth's gonna send out Ryan Killings. It's gonna be Ryan Killings versus like Malachi Black,
That's what I
but
thought.
it was yeah, like see, we all thought that, but it was Damian Priest though. So Priest comes out, he's fighting Malachi Black. They're fighting, and we never get a match.
Like what the fuck?
And then we have Drew. Drew comes out, huge pop, and Drew's like, "Yo, listen, I'm coming after Cody. I'm gonna do this. It's over." All of a sudden, Randy pops up, RKO's him. It's over.
His face though when he RKO'd him, like what the fuck?
Yeah. So then we get a Becky and a Nia thing, and Becky's like, "Listen, I want to go out and prove to these motherfuckers that I'm good." He's like, "You're gonna have my back," and she's like, "Okay, cool, whatever." And like they allude to their past of them not being cool, which if you know, Nia's the reason that the man was the man because she punched her, bust her nose, and that's how the whole shit started.
Hmm.
So like they alluded to that, but then they went into the regular thing, and it's like, okay, like it was kind of fun. Then we get to the main event, and the good guys won. Tiffy and Jade. They beat Becky and Nia. And we had the little back and forth of, oh shit, like this is a thing.
Yeah.
Then we had a backstage thing that like there's two copies of it. There's two different copies of it because at the live one, it was totally different than what was aired later. So the live one was Nick Aldis was talking to John Cena, and he's like, "Yo, I got a call from Brock. I'm about to tell you about this Brock problem." All of a sudden, off camera, boom! Logan Paul punches him, and he just goes down, and he runs off. He's like, "What are you doing?" Because like that's what happened.
Hmm.
But in the visual for the one that they showed later on in the night, it shows Logan Paul walking up from behind Nick Aldis and just decking John Cena. It's like, okay. Because like apparently they didn't like the way it was shot the first time because I liked it because it was gritty, but they didn't like it. So
It's fine to me.
yeah, it was fun. Apparently the WrestlePalooza is looking like it's gonna be a fucking stack card because here's what's currently rumored. Most of this is true. We're getting Cody versus Drew. We're
Okay.
getting Cena versus Brock.
Hmm.
We're getting Roman versus Seth for the title.
Okay.
We may or may not. They're trying to finalize what this is going to be. We may get Rhea versus Stephanie because that is a rumor. It's Rhea versus Stephanie.
I like that.
So that like for the women's world title. So that is like already like all of those four matches so far are stacked. There's one more that they're like trying to needle down of like what could be on the card. We don't know, but I'm not holding my breath and going like, oh my god, it's gonna be this or it's gonna be that. I'm not holding my breath. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
But like from what I've already heard, like most of this stuff looks like it's definitely gonna happen because the Cody Drew thing looks like that's a lock. The fucking Brock versus Cena looks like that's a lock. I would not be surprised if they push up the fucking Seth versus Roman for the title because that's where it's going. A lot of us had already gone, okay, they're gonna do this all the way down at Survivor Series, right? This is a Survivor Series match. Them pushing it up just to go head to head with AEW in one of their big pay per views. It's like, all right, well, I kind of see where they're going with this.
Yeah. Because if it wasn't for that, I would
Hmm.
think they would do the easy way. Bronson, Braun, then Seth. You know what I
Yeah, and
mean?
another reason like they're loading this up because it's gonna be the first ESPN one, so
Yes.
that's why it's loaded. It's like
Yep.
that's why it's super loaded. Like, no, we're gonna load this the fuck up.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that's it. Do you have any last words on this episode?
I don't